What's up guys, I'm Micheal King, back again with another video. So today I'm going to analyze the GBPUSD and I'm going to be showing you what to expect for GBPUSD this week. So I'm basically looking at three time frames: the weekly, the 4 hour and the 50 minutes time frame. And maybe I might also look at 1 hour time frame just for more clarity of the 4 hour time frame. So these are the time frames I usually work with. So that's what I'm going to be explaining to you guys with the time frames I work best at, so that we are able to give you guys a kind of thorough analysis of what you should expect on GBPUSD this week. So this is GBPUSD right now, and starting from the weekly time frame, let me quickly take you guys all the way back to this point right here. So now I operate on advanced market structure. From my previous video, the recent videos, I kind of explain how to mark advanced structure. So we have this our inducement right here, and price it all the way up to this point here to strip the inducements. And now looking at this carefully, look at what price did here, because the moment price swept the inducement, this become our valid low right here. So now look at what price did. I'm waiting for this low to be broken for the continuation to the downside. The price came all the way down here and it swept it. So because for me to consider a particular area as a break of structure, price must close below that particular low. So assuming we have a full body below this, that would have been a break of structure. But as at this moment, what we had here was just a sweep. So price swept this low, then price went all the way up to this point here. So it means as at this moment, this was not yet a break of structure yet, until price eventually came all the way down to this point right here. And looking at what price did here, price went all the way down to this point here. Now when price broke this low and we had a full body below it, it simply means that as at this moment we had a break of structure, which is a continuation pattern showing us that we still have a bearish market on the weekly time frame, which is our biggest time frame for me as a forex trader. So now price will go below this low right here, and we have to look at our first pullback, which is at this point right here. Now this is our first pullback. Our first pullback become our inducement, right? Now this is our structure right now on the weekly time frame. This is our valid low right here. Now what makes this low valid is because of the fact that price have taken out the inducement, so this low is automatically valid, and we're waiting for price to trade all the way down to break this low for it to have a continuation as a downtrend. So currently on the market structure, this is our low right here, then this right here was when price broke structure, then this is our current high right here. Now that being said, since price broke this inducement, the other block that is close, like extremely close to the inducement, is right here. So now once you understand is that other price have taken out some kind of pullback, which is an inducement. Look at the immediate POIs. It could be just a week of a candle, it could be an order block. In this case we had an order block right here, and as you can see price break through it. So anytime something like this, it simply means that price is looking forward to go all the way deeper into the range, because this is our range right here, this is our high right here, and this is our low right here. In between that range, the fact that price took out the inducement and still went above this order block means that there's a possibility of price wanting to go all the way higher, so all the way deep into the range. Now when we have something like this, the main area I should be looking at for high probability setup is the extreme right here. Now why I'm calling this an extreme, even though it's not the highest point, is because of the fact that if you look at this area right here, we had an order block, yes, at this point here, also at the week right here, as you can see. But if you look at this point right here, realize that price have already traded into this order block, even the week also price have pierced through it already, so it means it's already been mitigated. So when an order block has been mitigated, when you're looking at your extreme, look at the ones that are not yet mitigated, which is this point right here. Now we have the other block around this area right here. We also have this liquidity right here to further validate this area, and we also have a fair value gap, as you can see at this point here. So this right here is what we call, you can call it an engineer liquidity or an extreme liquidity right here. So it means this is like the most like the highest pullback we have. So this is the place that price might want to go all the way up to sweep and get to its other block. So my bias on the weekly time frame is I want to see price rise all the way to this point right here. And if you look at what price have been doing lately, or I won't use the word lately because this is the weekly time frame. So if you observe what prices have been doing around this area right here, you realize that we had an order block right here, And let me quickly zoom the chart a little bit so you can see very clearly. Okay, now look at what price did here. This is the structure I trade. No matter the time frame, I apply this structure right here. So now price made a pullback right to this point here, went higher, a little bit higher than this, right? Then it came all the way down to sweep this. You can see that we had a wick that went below it, not a full body. So this is like a liquidity sweep. Now when price grabbed the liquidity, what the price did, price went higher, came all the way down here to form what we call an inducement, went higher, also under inducement right here. So this is our main inducement because this is the recent pullback from this range right here. So price went all the way higher to this point. Now look at what price did. Price traded all the way low to this point right here. Now price tap on this order block. What I call an order block is not about the candle color. It's not about whether it's a bullish or a bearish candle. That is not my concern. How I mark my order block is I want to look at the most recent. So if you look at this point here, all this move to the down, this is the one that is the most recent move to the downside. That is what I look out for a valid order block. Another thing I look out for is that the order block must sweep some kind of previous candle or some kind of low. In this case, the previous candle was swept, as you can see. Also, this low was also swept. So this is an high probability order block. The third criteria I look out for is that it must also have a fair value gap, as you can see. So fair value gap in an order block is more like me being assured, okay, this order block hasn't been mitigated, that is, price haven't tapped on it yet. So when you have something like this with these three criteria, it's usually a kind of high probability setup for those that trade the order block, right? So now price came all the way down to this point. If you check this area on the 4-hour time frame, realize that we had the change of character to the upside. But I'm not going to talk about that because this video is mainly about showing analysis that you should expect for this week, right? So when price get to this point right here, price went all the way high. I'm trying to just show you all the structure of the market on the weekly time frame so that we're able to have an idea of what we're expecting on even the 4-hour time frame and likewise the 15 minutes time frame, also what we're likely to see price do for this week, even next week and thereabouts. So now price tap on it and price went higher. Now why did price pull back to this point? Let me quickly zoom the chart more because I want you guys to see it clearly. Okay, perfect. Now when price tapped on this was the order block right here that even swept the low. This was the value order block here. But if you look at what price did, price came all the way down here to mitigate this order block. So it means it has already been mitigated. So price came all the way down to this point here, then went all the way up. Right now, this is a valid order block. Now you might be asking me, why am I calling this an order block? Because it didn't sweep. What I call this actually is a transferred order block. That is, this is actually this order block that is here, right here. But since it has already been mitigated, what we tend to do is we transfer this order block to this area right here. Now, while we're looking at this area right here, it's because of the fact that we have a fair value gap also, as you can see. I know that this channel is mainly just on this channel is majorly just on weekly analysis, right? But if you want me to go more in depth into price action, smart money concept, because I'm a liquidity trader, so if you want me to go deep into those areas, like if you want the channel to be more than just a weekly analysis, you can just let me know, drop a comment and I'll work towards it. So I call this a transferred order block. Now what this simply means actually is that all this has been mitigated. Hence, look at the candle that created a fair value gap. That would be our main concern actually. And this is the candle right here. Price traded all the way down to it, as you can see, and our price is heading higher. But now, one thing I want you to understand is that around that area on the weekly time frame, you can still decide to like go more deeper to look at the 4-hour time frame. That is, in this huge candle right on the weekly time frame, you can go to the 4-hour time frame to refine this area. Now let's quickly do that now, so that I will show you the reason why we have this black line in the middle of the order block that I marked. Okay, now let me take it back to this area. Now look at this point here. So this is the weekly time frame here. This is the candle that we marked. Now let's still talk about the concept of transferred order block. This is a valid order block right here. Look carefully at this, right? Because it also swept the previous candle low. But look at what happened here. Price went all the way down and mitigated this order block, as you can see this week right here. Tap on this order block. Now what we can do, we can apply the transfer order block concept. That is, this candle right here becomes our main order block because of why it created an order block, a fair value gap right here. So if price will come all the way down to tap on this candle right here, we can expect some level of reversal. Now look at what price did now. Now this black line is basically this candle right here. Now let's come back to current time and see what price did. Now look at exactly what price did. Price tap on the line, as you can see, and we had this huge rejection. If you usually use candlestick as entry, when you see this kind of candlestick right here, you can see a strong aggressive move to the buy side. You can just buy around this area and apply proper risk management, even on the 15 minutes time frame. Also, let me quickly show you that we also had a good price action on the 15 minutes time frame. Okay, yeah, perfect. So look at this area right here. You can see when price tap on the line, you can see this this candle right here. This is more like an engulfing bar if you are very familiar with candlestick patterns. So you can trade candlestick. I don't trade candlestick patterns, but I'm just trying to just make it not like exactly how I trade. I'm just trying to show you the beauty of Forex actually, that if you really understand what I'm saying right now, you can still apply whatever thing you're trading and you might still be able to make some money from it. So that's basically what I'm just trying to just do right now. So coming back to the weekly time frame, this order block area that I talk about, this order block right here, is basically what I'm just talking about. And since price have tapped into it, it means we should expect, right? Because Forex is like a kind of probability. I am not always right? I'm just a trader. So my bias on the weekly time frame is this order block here, this transfer order block here also, like two confluences or two kind of things I see in the market to be more guaranteed that okay, price might want to push higher to this point here. So now looking at this carefully now, what will make me scrap out this bias is if price can trade below this candle here. This other block here, price can trade below it, that is price come all the way down below this low of this candle right here, then it means the bias is actually wrong and price is not interested in moving all the way high to this point here. Price want to start heading downside to continue the overall bearish pattern, right? Now before price can get to this point, let's also note this area too. Also have another block right at this point here. So these areas might also be an area to push price lower. So but this is like the extreme. That's why I'm prioritizing this area, because of it is the extreme. But it's not a time that price move to the extreme, right? And sometimes that price might also to just go all the way up, even sweep this high right here and trade lower, or it might just go all the way up to this other here then trade lower, or it can go all the way up to this liquidity, this extreme liquidity here, and tap on this other block and go lower. Or if I not sweep below this extreme liquidity and also it might not tap on this other block. So you have to be very, very flexible as a forex trader. You have to understand that you are not the owner of the market, right? Have that mindset, it will help you a lot. You are not the owner of the market and you don't get to decide what the market is going to do, right? You're expected to trade what you see, not what you want, right? Trade what you see and not what you want. So I'm giving you a bias. If this week I don't see what exactly I predicted it, I'm going to trade in line with what I see, right? You must be flexible as a forex trader. So that being said, let's come down to the 4-hour time frame so that we can see what is happening right here. Now the gray area is this area is the weekly transfer order block that I marked out. Then this line right here is the 1-hour time frame transfer. 4-hour transfer order block also marked also to refine the area. So price tapped it, then we break this structure. So when we break structure here, but this is where I'm looking at currently. This is the current where I want to do a kind of thorough explanation for what price did actually last week. So price action for last week has been terrible, in the sense that we didn't really have much movement. Market was kind of very, very, very slow last week. So this is what we have here. We have this range before, we have this low, we have this high, and we have this inducement right here. So price came all the way down to sweep the inducement, making this high to be valid. Then price continued the upside and break this high right here. So it means currently on the GBPUSD on the 4-hour time frame we have an uptrend, because of the fact that we have a continuation ever since price started this point and broke this high right here. We have been having an uptrend, but we have an interesting thing right now for this week. Now look at what price did. Price came all the way down, swept this our inducement area, went a little bit higher, then came all the way down to this point, sweeping this low. But now, will you call it a change of character? No, this is not a change of character. Do you know why? So the fact that this candle hasn't closed below this low. Assuming this candle closed below this low, we would have said, okay, this is a change of character to the downside, right? But remember the overall bias from the weekly time frame. We are expecting price to kind of go higher, which might happen or might not happen. So now looking at this carefully, since we have a sweep here, there's a possibility of price wanting to rise to this point. Now let me show you something interesting right now. This is something I just see right now. I'm talking to you because I've already studied the chart already prior to making this video, but I didn't really see this. But now I'm seeing this. I'm seeing a possibility of price keep heading higher. Now what do we have here? We have a pullback here because price went all the way up here, pull back a little bit, went higher. Now price came all the way down to sweep this right here. If you look at this carefully, now this candle right here is a very powerful candle. It's likely to prepare price to push higher because of the fact that it already swept this low. So it means this week from this point right here, price might want to start heading higher. You might not see price go below this low here, right? But if price do go below this low, then know that okay, let me quickly mark it because this is a very interesting low right here. Now this area, because of the fact that this candle swept this low and it's formed this, I think we call this a pin bar, something like that. So this candle right here might push price higher, right? But if price can go below this low, just know that there's a possibility of price heading all the way down to even form a new kind of change of character. So I don't expect price to go below this low if we want to maintain that upside move, because this low have swept liquidity. It's almost like what we have here on the weekly time frame. Let me quickly show you. It's almost like this. It's almost like what we have in this candle that swept this liquidity right here. So the same thing can likewise apply to what is happening here. Because one thing I want you to understand now is that let's assume that the next 4-hour candle go all the way high. This first candle, let me do chart very well, because I want you guys to understand this very well. I'm believing I'm giving you guys a lot of information, and this is not just about weekly analysis, it's about me dropping some information that might help you. Now let's assume that the next 4-hour candle trade all the way high, for example. One thing I want you to understand is this bearish candle and this bullish candle, they are both the same. You might ask me why. Because look at this carefully. Realize that this candle is still inside this candle. Okay, this is the high of this bullish candle here, right? Now look at this carefully. This is the low of the bullish candle. This is the high of the bullish candle. This bearish candle is still inside this bullish candle. So it means I will still regard it as one. So it means if the next candle that formed trade higher, what that simply means is that this is just a single candle. Then we now have what? Another candle, right? So just try and work with that information and look at how you can apply it in your strategy. So now that being said, that is basically all for this video. But let me just quickly talk about the 15 minutes time frame, right? So that we can just see if there's anything I can talk about here. So this same kind of what I'm talking about here, you can see that it's take out this liquidity here. So if price started trading higher, it means there's a possibility of price continuing to the upside, right? Based on what I've said so far on the weekly time frame. Because as I'm talking to you right now, the weekly time frame is a kind of uptrend, though the overall structure of the weekly time frame is bearish, right? But we have this kind of internal structure that is bullish. So I'm kind of expecting price to rise to the extreme liquidity. That's by my own bias. Then other than that, on the 4-hour time frame, we likewise have an uptrend because of the fact that price tapped on that transfer order block on the weekly time frame. So we have an uptrend on the 4-hour time frame, but there was a sweep. That is this sweep right here. Let me come back. This sweep right here, right? Sometimes when we have a sweep, it might be a signal that might have a change of character sometimes. But sometimes when we have a sweep, it can also be a signal that price wants to start heading higher to continue the trend. So you have to have a mindset that Forex is a business of probability, right? Everything is probability. There's not 100% accuracy or 100% result. So that's basically all for this video. If you do enjoy, drop a like, drop a comment, right? Hit that subscribe button and share to your friends, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.